Hey, Zach, when you look at those two games against Calgary, not just the fact that you guys won, but how you won those games, have you learned anything, I guess, about yourselves as a group from that?
Well, I think this season, we've won a ton of one-goal games. I think this stretch of games, I think we've played 5-on-6, I should say, a lot more than I think we have in the past. So I think being in those tight games and being able to close out games has definitely been an improvement on this year. And I think that in those games that we've won, we've had times where we've played really, really well and times where we've kind of let off the gas. So finding the consistency to continue and to finish games out strong and to not put ourselves in a situation where the other team is one goal away, I think is going to be something that we're going to look to improve on. But we're definitely happy with where we are.
Thank you.
Next up, we'll go to Danielle Manuel, Leafs Nation Network. Go ahead, Danielle.
Hey, Zach, given that you guys saw Edmonton just a week ago, what areas do you feel you can expose in their defensive play in order to establish an early lead?
I think that they obviously have extremely talented players. So making sure that we're heavy in the O-zone and spending as much time as we can there is definitely going to help us establish a lead, but also help us on the defensive side of things. I think taking the puck to the net, creating chances and throwing the puck on net is never a bad thing. So just continue to do that and look to hopefully build a lead.
Is there any difference in preparation when you see an opponent this closely back to back? Are video sessions more focused? Like, what does preparation look like?
Yeah, it's similar to any other game, except you have a ton of tape on the team that you're actually playing against, and you have it in your memory. It's pretty recent, so the players that you're playing against, the structure a little bit, but adjustments are always made, especially in today's game with the video and being able to review different plays. So I assume they're going to be making adjustments as well, and we'll be prepared.
When we go into these Oilers games, we obviously fixate a lot on McDavid and his speed, but having seen him quite a bit over the years, is there a part of his game that you find to be underrated or stands out to you different than his speed?
No, I mean, his playmaking ability is obviously unbelievable. I mean, the way he makes plays in the O-zone and, I mean, from behind the goal line, catching guys is unbelievable.
Next up, we'll go to Lance Hornby, Toronto Sun. Go ahead, Lance.
William, what's it been like from a speed perspective being on your current line? Mikheyev can really fly. John's lost a bit of weight. He says he feels lighter. And yourself, of course, being fast. Do you feel that's got the potential in adding speed to be just as dangerous and generate some of those scoring chances you're talking about?
Yeah, I mean, of course. We just played a little bit together up until where Mickey got injured last year, and we were able to, I think, click very good together. So I think that's going to be good for us. I mean, like I said, we need to get the second pucks back, and I mean, adding a speed on the line will help us get those pucks back.
Sheldon, I wonder if I could just talk to you a little bit about some details with the taxi line. Like, are the taxi squad, are they with the team all the time practicing with the main group? And how do you see it all unfolding through the year that you get the most out of those guys?
They are with us, practicing with the main group for the most part. We have had a couple of occasions where we want to limit the group to just our game players and get our work done and get out. But for the most part, they're on the ice and they're getting some reps, though limited reps, but they're on the ice. They're in all our meetings. They're taking part in everything that we're doing, obviously, except for the games. And, we expect that to continue throughout the season. In terms of how we utilize them, we'll see how that goes. I mean, we were really limited in the early going of the season because of the salary cap and our roster situation. And since we've had injuries and things have moved around a little bit, we're not carrying 3 goalies on the active roster any longer. It's allowed a little bit more flexibility for us to change the lineup and utilize more of the other groups. So because we've had that here now and because we've got our feet under us a little bit on the season, I've looked to change it up a little bit more and give those guys a chance to show what they can do. And as I've said, just to have them a little bit closer to game ready, because as much as they're in our practices and they're around, it's tough. It's just like it is in the playoffs where those guys are, they're not getting any game action. They're just kind of sitting around and practicing. we've got to keep them involved as much as we can. And because of no exhibition, that's probably the biggest wrinkle in this whole thing is we're still unsure about a lot of guys and where they fit in and what they can offer us. And we've got to find our way to give them some opportunities to show what they can do and figure out what our best mix will be. And then once we have those answers, I think we'll find a little more consistency in our lineup. But until then, we'll continue to move things around. Even at times, like I said, I thought our fourth line was excellent the other night, but I'm still changing it up today because, frankly, Spezza and Barabanov didn't necessarily do anything wrong to come out. It was just freeing up opportunities for others, and now they'll get a chance to come back in. But because you've provided other opportunities, now the standards raised a little bit because those guys had a great game. And, so now the expectation is that Spezza and Barabanov would follow suit and Boyd would continue another strong performance. And, throughout the season, we'll see how it goes. We'll see how our roster goes and see how injuries go and all those kind of things. But right now we got to keep moving things around a little bit.